Hey, it's Eric here, back from my first trip to Israel in almost 3 years. It was so great to reconnect with leaders and committee folks and staff that we have not seen face to face in quite some time. We kicked it off with a leader overnight on the Sea of Galilee at a monastery connected to Tavka. So it was leaders from Ashkelon and Beersheba. So good to see them. At the end of it, we went on a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee, which is kind of mind-blowing to think that that's the same water where Jesus would have hung out with the 12. So really, really cool. Got to visit with friends in Jerusalem, former staff that now live in Jerusalem. Got to run down to Stable Care where we've done camp a few times. Got to visit friends in Eilat. Got to spend time in Ibilene and Nazareth visiting with leaders and staff there. It was a lot in a short period of time. But there was one day when a meeting or two got canceled and I had a morning available to visit an archaeological park called Zippori or Sepphoris. And some interesting insights kind of came out of that for me. And I recorded this video for my committee, but I hope maybe all of you could get a kick out of it. I hope you enjoy. The ruins of the ancient town are less than 4 miles from Nazareth. The city was the capital of Galilee under Herod the Great until his death in 4 BC. An aqueduct system brought water from the mountains nearby, and they filled a network of 30-foot deep cisterns. Pretty impressive. If the historian Josephus is right, a Jewish rebellion started here when Herod died, and the Roman army swept in and destroyed the city. Herod's son Antipas wanted to rebuild the town, and he leaned on local craftsmen to pull it off. I visited the park in the rain. It was empty, but you can imagine this filled with people from long ago. In some places, you can still see the ruts in the limestone from carts rolling through the streets for centuries. So imagine what Herod Antipas wanted to build. Homes, a market, a theater, housing for soldiers, eventually would have a synagogue. It was opulent. The floor of one home was tiled with over 1.5 million pieces of stone. Beautiful mosaics that have lived to tell the tale. So if local construction workers were needed, Nazareth would definitely be involved. Joseph, Jesus, and his brothers certainly would have been able to walk to the site. There's even a quarry halfway between Nazareth and Zippori. So it's possible that Jesus worked for the Romans, alongside the Romans, to help provide for his family. Maybe he did this for 10 or 15 years before calling disciples and moving to Capernaum. That season of life would have been the epitome of being in the world but not of the world. I wonder what he saw and what he experienced during those years. So all of that made me think of you guys. I imagine your work life is pretty different than mine, that there are lots of times when you're spending countless hours with people that don't believe what you believe. Maybe it's your boss or a coworker or a client, and you're working your fingers to the bone to provide for your family and to be able to tithe to your church and to me and all of these other things, and wondering, can God relate to what I'm doing and living? And if Jesus worked in Zippori from age 15 to 30, he can definitely relate to your life and the struggle you face. And I don't know, I just thought of that and thought of you guys when I was in Zippori.